Hello everyone, glad to be back. And for this video, by extremely consistent demand from a sub, I will be covering the Anti-Spiral from TTGL versus the Chaos King from Marvel Comics. And this is due to their very similar characteristics, extremely powerful, destructive, abstract constructs of, darkness, which, consume into the main antagonists of kind of each storyline, kind of look similar. So yeah, who would come out on top in a fight? Let's find out. Okay, starting off with the Anti-Spiral, who some people may be a bit more unfamiliar with. It's basically just like the main antagonist of the TTGL series. Basically like the head honcho of a series of mysterious, godlike, abstract, metaphysical manifestations of just spiral destroying power. Although kind of this is their most natural / notable general appearance. For a good amount of their feats, it's also going to be covering later forms which it takes, being the Grand Zaboma and Super Grand Zaboma, which were made to fight the transformations of the TTGL and STTGL. So, before the transformation, one interesting base feat I did find was how on several occasions the Anti-Spiral would create multiversal binding prisons to trap other beings within, which in return could obviously destroy at any point, and which are completely bound by logic itself of those being trapped in. In the second occasion, basically it's using the similar method to trap the team in a trippy ass multiversal labyrinth almost instantly before just ditching. So I thought that was pretty impressive. So once evolving to match the TTGL, and although it gave it a good run for its money, the Anti-Spiral just ended up ripping it apart easily. So just having been humiliated by the Anti-Spiral, having to transform into the STTGL, which is obviously kind of the ultimate big boy protagonist of the verse. I think we should kind of briefly scale that to get a solid impression about how impressive the Anti-Spiral's clownage over it was later on. So to begin, as shown here, it was formed by basically combining the Infinity Big Bang Storm alongside the other TGGs, creating a mecha that is said to be so large that it competes and even surpasses the universe in size, according to Nakashima in the data books shown here. In the translation, basically just says from Nakashima, "At this point, I'm not even sure if it's a robot anime or not. The last evil is the evil demon of the Great Goin. However, there is a feeling that it is bigger than the universe. It is said to be extremely huge." So basically, it's just been giving implications that, with this and later on, the universes are literally marbles to it. It is just massive. And it's, not even taking the form as, a robot anime at this point. It's just, a whole nother entity. Here are just some sketches for the STTGL. It was stated that they had some ideas for the translucent and all the TTGLs combined, but they couldn't just come up with a definitive design that would mash up with its almost unparalleled power. So they were kind of conflicted, which I thought was kind of impressive. And in the end, basically, they just settled on a dynamic design of a mass of effects, which was a swirling vortex of all mediums within space, and the universe is floating behind and within the translucent body itself. So yeah, it's just made up of universes and flowing inside and out. The thing is fucking huge. With this, the Anti-Spiral still just had cool story, bro. And in the kind of final clash, both created drills but the anti-spiral created a drill which, during kind of their clash, which seemed to like encompass infinity, the Giga Drills kind of have shown to go far beyond time and space itself, and collapse the anti-spiral's universe into a singularity known as the Big Crunch. This was the time which was confirmed that the true potential of spiral power was reached, and then with this, the anti-spiral still came out on top. So that should kind of say that the pinnacle of the power within the verse was met, and the anti-spiral still kind of pwned. So yeah, that's pretty dope. So basically, during that clash, which the anti-spiral pretty convincingly won, the friction between it, the spiral that calls for evolution, and the anti-spiral that shuts off evolution, shook the universe in unimaginable ways and far surpassed time and space. And the STGL, stated in this page, is basically just the ultimate absolute form of transcendence that was reached by Simon and the others in the super spiral universe where all thoughts are materialized, which was created by combining the infinity Big Bang storm. So yeah, it is a monster, and the anti-spiral just kind of, said, "You're cute." And lastly, the anti-spiral was mainly confirmed the, kind of apparently cap only 11D, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the verse reached far higher. It was pretty sick, and it seemed like the limits were kind of vague and up for interpretation. Seems a little sus. So yeah, I definitely think it has potential for above that. But that's the confirmation we do have from the material itself. So yeah, that is the anti-spiral, and let's move on to the Chaos King. Okay, to begin with the Chaos King. So basically, it all started when Nightmare tried to pull up and flex on Herc with his powers of terror and such when he gets pulled up by Mikaboshi out of nowhere, and he basically implies that his terror is nothing when compared to the Void. Keep in mind that Mikaboshi is the small fragment of Oblivion itself, and that this is even a weaker version of the later Chaos King that we come to know. Mikaboshi is obviously the classical Japanese representation of the god. He hasn't ascended yet. So he proceeds to just clown Nightmare in his own realm like it's child's play, and just gives him the whole suck of the idea verse. So afterwards, keep in mind with the story, we could make an argument that this is one of the strongest interpretations of Marvel Herc. And with that, he basically just comes running, shitting his pants, sensing the Chaos King to be the greatest threat in the multiverse. And this was before the Chaos King even popped off fully. He was stated to be all the existence before existence itself, even took form within Marvel. The eternity itself is literally too scared to stand up to the Chaos King. Its excuse is that it'd be basically fighting himself because it's its other half, and doing so would cause unimaginable destruction, killing himself and the Chaos King in the process. So he's good luck. I'm gonna run like a bitch now since I can't handle the Chaos King. So how potent is eternity? Yes, let's go over that since this is extremely impressive. So to give you a quick rundown of the power level of a being who's too scared to fight the Chaos King, eternity. The mask of eternity is beyond all concepts of time and space. Eternity is the pure embodiment of actuality and marvel. If you play off of this, actuality can be seen as all that is real and existence itself. Eternity encompasses everything and all reality, which includes time, space, etc. And lastly, by one of the main comic book authors of the works relating to it, my man JM, eternity has been confirmed to be a purely platonic concept. There are just like endless feats for eternity relating to this, but I just wanted to give a few to show like how impressive this is. That the Chaos King just scared him shitless into not even wanting to fight. Um, so yeah, moving on. So the Chaos King is so powerful at this point that like the endless Marvel gods, alongside their ideas and feelings, which like the Chaos King has just absorbed, doesn't feel it at all, and is still nowhere as close to as strong as he was before or will be later on. He's like just becoming a true avatar of nothingness. He was like completely chill during all of this and not having a struggle at all. He was just like absorbing and chilling basically. Um, it's not very surprising given his nature. He was also like surprisingly smart. He would like trick others and like deceive them into like being more vulnerable. So yeah, he would just grow and grow. Like, how do you kill this man? Okay, so once the Chaos King like devoured 98.76% of the main Marvel multiverse, all the gods basically just buffed Herc into the God of Gods form, which just holds the pure power of creation. Like hope, courage, all things like that exist and counter non-existence. Um, and to this, Chaos King basically just said, "Cute," and just continued to beat the shit out of him. And this is the Herc that was basically just instantly able to like restore all life throughout the multiverse, which was previously devoured. Um, the Chaos King was like too much to like take on, obviously, shown by this, and unbeatable due to like his abstract nature. That Cho, one of like the smartest people in Marvel, and the others had to like devise like a strategy to like open a portal to BFR, the Chaos King, which is just like pure nothingness. Without this, Marvel would have been just like pure fucked. So Herc just like threw the Chaos King in there with all they had left, and they won just on cheese, or they Marvel would probably been screwed. So yeah, that is the Chaos King for you. Didn't even really die. So what would happen if the Chaos King kind of hit up the anti-spiral for a one-on-one like Duke, like the Chaos King got more and more powerful in the narrative, and he just kept going on, and let's say stumbled across the anti-spiral, who sends like a great amount of energy inside of the Chaos King. Well, I think this is at this point a pretty obvious result. Many of you may see this may just be a kind of a rough induced part to the 11D kind of cap, but yeah, the Chaos King should just eat the anti-spiral in like a snack. We also need to address that the anti-spiral, even if it wasn't permanent, its abstract nature can still be harmed to the point of like destruction. We can see that when it got like drilled and resulting in like the universal explosion. So, and with the Chaos King, it was only growing more and more potent, and was just beating everyone up. Like it wasn't even getting hurt at all. They had to BFR it, or all of Marvel, who knows what would have happened. So durability, AP, all of that. The Chaos King has just had more feats. And just verse wise, I think it's a little unfair to compare the two, because Chaos King has duked it out against a lot tougher opponents, like full on God of Gods Herc and such. So yeah, that is my conclusion. I think that the anti-spiral would just get sucked into its belly of nothingness, or the multiverse it has already consumed. But it may put up a bit of a fight. Who knows? So yeah, that is my take. I would say Chaos King, low diff. Yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I think I will do a updated Q video up next. He has some broken ass shit, and yeah, it's gonna be good. Probably a collab with Man Behind the Slaughter, so it's gonna be lit. Until then, peace out.